For this edition of AAM Media Matters, I'd like to welcome Megha Garibaldi, Chief Growth Officer at The Atlantic, where she leads initiatives to build audience growth and consumer revenue. Welcome, Megha.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you for having me.
Last year, The Atlantic crossed the 1 million subscriber mark. What do you think fueled this growth?
The fundamental and the foundational piece of this is excellent, high quality, independent journalism, which is, of course, in line with our historic mission. We constantly see the incredible work that our journalists are putting out there, and we're seeing this reception to it. And in addition to that, from a business perspective, we really focused on a bunch of key strategic initiatives and tactics, and we kind of drowned out the noise around it and just focused on the ones that we believed would take us to this mark. A good example of that on the business side was we were trying to figure out, what was our paywall strategy, or how do we make our consumer marketing more efficient across very specific channels, and not worrying about the entire universe, but really focusing on those initiatives that we believed were aligned to sort of bring success to the Atlantic in that moment. And I think that really served us well.
How has The Atlantic's understanding of its audience evolved over the past few years? Are there any shifts in audience behavior or preferences that have influenced your growth strategy?
In the past few years, of course, there have been certain key events that have taken place in the world, be it the pandemic, the sort of historic elections that we've had, and sort of in parallel, we've also gotten really better at data insights and analyses. There's more tech out in the universe that allows us to understand consumer reading patterns and how readers are engaging with us. So you see differences in terms of what people want to read, and also how people want to engage with the evolution and the development of multiple social platforms and ways in which people consume content. For example, we have a presence on Apple News, we have a presence on Reddit, we have a presence on TikTok. We kind of adjust to sort of what these advancements look like at a consumer level. But I think the key part of all of this is we don't waver from who we are as the Atlantic, what type of mission we are serving, and what type of journalism we're putting out in the world. It is always high quality, independent, really great writing, integrity to all the principles of journalism. But as we see the evolution in terms of how readers are engaging, we try to match that while still aligning with the core principles of our brand.
What motivated The Atlantic to return to a 12 issue per year print frequency? And how does this align with your digital strategy?
It is a surprising thing to hear and to see when a media company says in this climate that we are expanding print of all things. Look, our decision to sort of increase our print frequency was something that was really, we thought long and hard about it, and we kind of understood the role of print in this era to be a little different from the role of print, say, 15, 20 years ago, right? We have such a big digital ecosystem, and we have a print universe that we believe provides value to our readers in a very unique way. There are many people who now crave just the physical form of our magazine, to be able to read it end to end and to have sort of that type of reading behavior. And we were seeing this again in the data. We also believe that, it benefits all our platforms ultimately. It's not just, our print numbers are going to grow. When you buy a print subscription, it comes with the digital component. So it gives sort of an ease of access and choice to our subscribers.
How do your product, data, and marketing teams collaborate to drive consumer growth? And what types of data insights have been most valuable in shaping the Atlantic's product or marketing strategies?
Data is very important across the board, and what data does in my eyes is two very important things. It highlights net new opportunities, and two, it also highlights risks. And it does that in a very sort of clear way, and something that can be translated very easily across the organizations. Numbers don't lie at the end of the day, right? So, which is great. Um, because we prioritize data across the board, we are then able to come together, be it from a product, a marketing, and a data perspective, and we're able to look at opportunities and risks together. And that usually then leads to very specific areas of opportunity that then translate into projects, and same for risks. We use data as a common language, which becomes very easy in sort of gathering together to then approach either a problem or an opportunity. And we do this quite often. We all have clear roadmaps, be it from a product and tech perspective or a marketing calendar perspective. And then we have regular check-ins in terms of how we're looking at the data. And data is quite democratized. There's easy access to data across the board on the business side, which then allows us to have these conversations with product and tech, or even with the events team or the advertising team, corporate teams, etc.
The Atlantic has been a member of the Alliance for Audited Media since 1916 and has its subscriber data verified by AAM, including Apple News Plus, and also shares its total audience through our Magazine Media 360 report. Why is it important to provide verified print and digital data to the marketplace?
This is so important to us because having a verified point of view when it comes to our subscription numbers pulls together all the different platforms and all the different products we have in the market. And that is very useful just from an organizational perspective in terms of how we communicate, what our numbers are, etc. But also, we do have multiple sort of business lines, and advertising is a big business line. And we have so many print partners, wonderful print partners, who deliver their ads in our issues, right? And having the verified number, of course, helps with that piece of the business. We also really inherently believe in the value of all our platforms. Like I mentioned, we don't see it just from the point of view of print. Print elevates digital, etc. And when you have a verified number that kind of sits across all of that, that really brings together the strategy. And it also helps clients in the B2B space or within the industry at large understand and appreciate what it is that we're doing and how we're growing. And I think that is a valuable asset to have for any publisher, and certainly for us.
How is the Atlantic using AI? And how do you balance AI use with your commitment to quality journalism?
The way that we are approaching AI is, I would say, on two fronts. One is we believe that our journalism is our journalism, and it is created by our journalists within the newsroom. We are not in the business of thinking about how we're using AI to write and create that journalism. The journalists are doing that, and that is something that we believe very strongly, and is something that we are safeguarding. Now, on the other hand, we also believe that AI is here, and we do need to be a part of it because it is a big transition that's happening in this world. And we want to try to be a part of it in a way that could be good for journalism and good for the Atlantic. So that's why, from a business perspective, we have a few deals with AI companies. We're constantly talking to AI companies, and we use AI in terms of sort of the second, third layers in terms of how can it help our processes? How can it make our targeting efficient? How can it be woven into the tech stack in a meaningful way so that it it sort of increases some level of efficiency while holding the principles of human created journalism intact. And I think that is sort of the focus for us at the Atlantic right now.
Well, thank you, Megha, for joining me today and sharing your insights. This has been really great.
Thank you so much for having me, Erin.